Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So next week marks a solemn anniversary. It will be 30 years since the first bombing at the World Trade Center in 1993. I was in kindergarten when that happened. I don't seem to remember the event, though. I read a lot about it since then, obviously, but I can't seem to remember it the day it happened. I was in kindergarten, though. And so I did a lot of studying on what it did to the market because I always like to be prepared if something like that were to happen again. And just like its cousin 9/11, in the immediate aftermath, all the precious metals corrected a little bit because there's a lot of margin pullback from the stock market imploding, and then they went off to the races. I think on the day of the bombing, silver had corrected to a low of 330 an ounce, and then they were off to the races, $5-6 within the next year or two. So I'm kind of preparing for another. I know something like that's going to happen sooner or later in the United States, and I'm kind of ready to take advantage of that again. In Chinese, we have a proverb called "looting a burning house." It's pronounced "趁火打劫." It means to take advantage of a bad situation and to turn a profit or take some kind of advantage off of it. So, in other words, when the World Trade Center was bombed in 1993, there would have been a lot of chaos, right? As you were evacuating, if you decided to steal something from your coworker's desk, you probably could have gotten away with it, right? Although it would be pretty petty, right? I'd much rather be taking advantage of the financial markets when that's going on. Now, this week, when we have the anniversary, it will be a great opportunity for me to go on a fast. Because when I tell my colleagues the reason I'm fasting is because to memorialize what had happened 30 years ago, it will be a lot more acceptable, right? Compared to, oh, I just want to fast for my own sake, right? So that's another form of 趁火打劫 that might happen, right? But right now, a lot of the strategic metals like bismuth, indium, and tellurium are really undervalued because so many people are focused on all the precious metals, the cryptocurrencies, and also not to mention the economy is slowing down in various sectors, and so I'm kind of taking advantage of the situation, 趁火打劫, and buying a lot of strategic metals, especially bismuth. But you get the idea, right? Anytime you take advantage of a crisis, I love it when something bad happens, but the badness doesn't seem to apply to me so much. So I'm introverted as it is. When I heard we had to stay 6 feet apart from one another, it was like, oh, that doesn't bother me at all. Everybody else can crash and burn. I'll stay 6 feet away from her. I love it when something bad happens, but the bad doesn't apply to me. It's one of the most wonderful feelings in the world. When I was living in Seattle and I figured out how to live out of my car comfortably, I had a favorite place where I could reach out and get electricity. I could cook. I could even make bismuth crystals. And everybody else could crash and burn with the high housing prices over there. Oh my God, there was no better feeling than that. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum bum bum